Is this the best backup steamer for your dental or ortho lab? Let's find out. Okay, so behind me is my brand new $1,000 dental lab steamer from Reliable. It's a Reliable 5100 CD. CD means this wand thing, which is what I want. And I'll put a link in the description below. I got it from Garland Dental Supply. If you want to pick up this, I don't get paid for promoting this or for the backup steamer. I'm not getting paid for that. Just I found it and I thought y'all would like to see it. But a little bit of backstory. These are my two old steamers. Now they were given to me. No, they weren't given. I traded some equipment, I believe, for that one because I didn't have a steamer. So I traded for equipment from another lab to get that one. And then 6 months later, they gave me this one. They didn't know what was wrong with it, but I was able to get it running. So I had two steamers and one was the backup of the other. So if one went down, I could pick up the other one and plug it in and go. We don't miss any downtime with the dental lab steamers. And then I'd send the other one to repair the Garland Dental Supplies who would repair it. And then when it came back, I'd put the other one back into storage. But you can see they're kind of big compared to the newest one. But I decided that I wanted to get a new one because I never owned a brand new steamer. And these are like Reliable 500 or something like that. They don't even make them anymore. So I thought, let me get a brand new one. I don't know how old these were, how many miles they had on them. They could have been 10 years old before I got them. I don't know how well they were maintained. But you can see they're a jumble of wires and stuff in storage. But I decided to get this one because I never owned a brand new one. I thought, well, it'll be good for a few years because they always need maintenance and they always need to be repaired, especially these Reliable ones, if you don't maintain them very good. So I'm going to maintain it really good. But here's the bad thing. Both these backup steamers went out at the same time. I had one go out, it was leaking real bad and pooling up down here and the steam wasn't working. So I plugged in the other one and got it to work and then it stopped working. So they both went out on the same day, which sucks. So then we were without a steamer for a few days. But that's when I decided to buy this one. It was $1,000, but I decided to invest because I can't go a day without a steamer. So that's where the backup steamer comes in. Usually Garland Dental Supply has these in stock and I can just order them. I'll get one the next day, just like Amazon, right? But for some reason, the day I called, they were completely out of stock. And so they had to drop ship it from Canada to me, to my lab. And it was going to take 3 to 5 days. So that's 3 to 5 days I was going to be without a steamer. And that's bad in my lab because we use a steamer all the time. And if y'all use a steamer, you get it. So it was going to be 3 to 5 days. So what I did is I jumped on the Amazon Jungle website and I was like, let me buy a cheap steamer as a backup because this will need a backup. Now these two are pretty much out of commission. I don't want to spend money to repair them anymore. I need a backup in case this one goes down so I'm not without a steamer. And so I was looking on there and I was scrolling through all the steamers, the dental lab jewelry steamers and stuff like that. And I found one, they were around $300 to $600. But then I found this one and it was $139.99. But I liked it because it was small and it was in a case. That was the big thing. Okay, Pete. And so this I can store in a cabinet and bring it out whenever I need it. Okay, this company is called Happy Virgo. It's a Chinese, a made in China steamer, but it may prove to be a nice backup. Let's see, what's it's called? It's a high pressure handheld steamer, supposedly good for grout, cars, and maybe retainers. It doesn't have a built-in tank. So what it does is it pulls water from a bucket, which is great because if you run out of water, you don't have to wait for the steamer to cool down and then have to refill it and then wait for it to boot back up or heat back up. You can just have a bucket of water ready to go and just put the thing in there. So that's what really caught my eye was the bucket and how small it was and that it had its own case. And I thought for the price, for $140, let's give it a shot. I've got notes here. So it did arrive in an Amazon box in this case, and I've already opened it and tested it. And testing it, I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta let all you guys know about it too, just in case y'all need a backup steamer, or if you want baby's first steamer for your dental or ortho lab. This might be a great first steamer. I have no idea about the reliability. Now it has some lifetime warranty on it, as far as I could read on there, or lifetime customer service or something like that. Let's open this up and show the process of setting it up, kind of like if your steamer goes down and you need to bring in the backup batter or whatever it's called. I'm not a baseball fan, but let's do that. Okay, I cleaned off a little area on my island in the middle of my lab. Now, my lab is, if y'all know, my name is Cade. My wife and I own Orthodontic Lab out in the country, and we are in this little building. This 14 by 36 building is our lab. So I don't have much storage options, which is why I like this. But it, again, came in this nice case, and you open it up, and here it is, ready to go. Again, I've already opened it once, made sure it worked before this video, but here's everything that came with it. Here is an instruction booklet, how to attach everything, some before use stuff to be aware of. Here is the customer service for Happy Virgo, and it says lifetime support, I believe, lifetime online technical support, so in 1 year warranty. So, you know, not bad for the price. It did come with a little sample bag, had a microfiber towel, a little scraper, I guess, some gloves, nitrile gloves, and then a little bag here of attachments that you could put on the end of the wand if you're cleaning things or grout or your car, just all sorts of little attachments. Funny thing was, I didn't know what this was, and then I realized it's a flashlight. I need to put a battery in it, but I had no idea why they included a flashlight, but I figured it out later on, and we'll see if y'all can figure out where this goes as I put this thing together. Okay, so here's the actual unit. As you can see, my cord management needs some work, but this is it. Happy Virgo. Here's an on-off switch. This is your wet-dry knob. Right now, I think I have it all the way to wet. Got a little handle. It's pretty light. This is where you attach your nozzle from right here. Again, this is the wet-dry and then the on-off. And here is the tube you drop into the bucket. Let me get these untangled. And then, of course, the cord to plug it in. Let me go ahead and attach this. This is your steam wand or steam handle thing. And then this just screws onto here. Now you can tell this is, I don't want to say cheaply made, but, you know, compared to the $1,000 one, you can see, you know, the quality that goes into these, but it works for the price. But this is more like a car wash handle kind of thing. And this does have you can unscrew this and you can put this one on to have a long extension. We'll just use this for right now. And move this. And that's it right there. So let's move this over closer to the sink and where I can plug it in, and we'll compare the two. Okay, I haven't figured out a good way of setting this on here, but I think right there is going to work for me. Let me get this over here. Again, the tip's going to be hot, so you kind of want to set it where it won't be in the way of anything or falling off. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is off, and I'm going to go plug this in under the cabinet. Hopefully both these steamers going. We'll compare the two steamers, and hopefully it won't blow a circuit breaker. So this tube on the end has this little filter thing. So I guess if you're using dirty water, you can see the water that's in here. That's one thing I worry about storing this is, can we drain it? And I think it's probably a good idea to drain it. I do have a bucket full of water ready to go. And then I'm just gonna drop this in here, just like that. So this is the setup. Disregard my box of pipes that I'm working on and my plaster trap. And this thing needs a lot of cleaning, and that's another video. So here's my wand going, steam wand, I guess is what I'm going to call it, and then the plug going in, and then that is going into a bucket. And so then when you run out of water, you just fill up the bucket again. So let's turn this on and we'll get some sounds out of it. So you can see it's pulling up water through here. So you can see it's like an air pump, like for airing up your tire. So once it pulls in enough water to start steaming, it will stop that pump thing, but it'll continue when you start using it. That pump will continue to will turn on and off as you need water. So while this warms up, let me show you some features of the $1,000 one. This one's already warmed up, ready to go. You can see it's got the steam right there. It's about 3.5 bars is what it does. Right here, let's see if I can get my thing to work with me here. All right, so there is the on-off switch down here. So in the middle is off. This is the boiler, and I have it on right now. Now, what I liked about this, it has an eco mode. So if you're going to be away from the lab or you're not going to be using it for a while, you can actually turn this to eco mode, and it will maintain a certain amount of heat, and it'll save you some power and saves life on the heating element inside. And then when you're ready to use it, you just flip this to the on position, and in 2 minutes it's on and ready for steam. And then you hit this button right here and it turns on the wand. Now, I do have some video I shot where you could check this. It comes with a measuring stick that you can use to, every morning you unscrew the cap and then check the levels and fill it up as you need. It holds 2.2 liters and it comes with a little funnel here. And here's my old straw for my backup. Down here's my old straw because I didn't have one of these fancy ones because it was a used one. So it was nice to have that. And I didn't have this nice hanger to keep this up and out of the way. We were actually, the old ones we'd have right here, just hooked onto here. But as you can see, here's my little Tupperware box I've made. It's my little steam container. You can see how much wax we've blown off retainers over, I don't know, a year, less than a year that we've had this. And I just cut a little hole in there and it just contains the steam and all the little bits we blast off the retainers from going everywhere. But let's give this a try. Okay, moment of truth. Now, it does say it needs a few seconds when you initially use this, squeeze the trigger. I guess this is a safety thing to keep the trigger, oh, not very good. But you can see, once I used it, this pump kicked on. So it's pretty quiet, and it keeps the tankless heater, it keeps it nice and primed. So it does say it needs a couple of seconds to get the steam to come out. So what we do is we just squeeze it. You see it does take a little while. This is especially this first initial steam. Actually, I think it said 20 or 30 seconds it needed. So there's the steam. So to me, it's not bad. This thing just trying to walk off. I guess I could do it like that. There we go. So as you can see, there's some buildup here. Let me see if I can zoom in while I do this. You can see there's some buildup here from years of spraying over here. This is some wax that came off retainers. You can see that second time that I turned it on, that it's a lot more powerful. So I can actually clean this. It does a really good job. I've already tested it. Now, let's try more dry. And I don't know if I see much of a difference. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. It kind of dries out there. So let me go back. I really like it to be more of a wet steam. Okay, so you can see how I was impressed with this, and I wanted to share this video with y'all. So let's look at this. So here's the steamer from the Reliable 5100 CD. So here's the steam from the $1,000 steamer. Again, almost the same. Now, that was the initial one. Again, both the steamers, and I think all steamers are like this, that very first initial one is a little weaker, but then when you use it again, you see well, oh, that turned back on. You can see the steam knock back down, and it's usually just that first initial of steam of the day. And so that one is just going back on. I don't know if you can hear that or not. So we'll let that build back up, and you'll get a good taste of how this steamer actually works. Okay, so it's been about 30 seconds or so, and the pressure's built back up. Again, this is just the initial use of the day. And so the next ones are pretty powerful. So you can see, so it's pretty good. It also does have a dial on there for more wet and more dry steam. I haven't messed with that yet, so I feel like this is more of a drier steam. But let's look at these things side by side. And so I think as this is pumping, it does suffer a little bit. Yeah. All right, some more tests. Oh, that just, will this knock it over? Yep. Let's demo in the steamer. Ah, pretty good. Let's try this side. The $1,000 steamer now. It's definitely more consistent, and I can feel the force of this pushing back against my hand. Like whenever I use it, I feel it pushing back a little bit. Let me see if I can adjust this. Maybe this, oh yeah, here it is. There we go. Okay, I'm adding more wet steam, and then if I close it down, there's more dry steam. So I'm going to open this back up. Like I said, I like this. I think it does a better job when it's more steam. But that's it. Head to head. See, this thing, that's one bad thing, is I think this is going to just try to walk off the table on me. Okay, if you want to pick up one of these backup steamers for your lab, I do have an affiliate link. The Amazon link is in the description below, and it's an affiliate link, and if you click on it and buy the steamer, I get a few pennies, a little bit of a commission for, you know, referring you to Amazon. So if you do that, then it helps out the channel. It helps me to get more, equipment like this and test it out so you don't have to make the gamble. So I was impressed with this little steamer. It does a pretty good job. Now, I don't know the long-term reliability of this steamer, but let me go ahead and turn that off. For backup purposes, if you need it for 1 or 2 days, I think it's gonna be a great little steamer for my lab. And I can pack it back up, put it in the cabinet. I don't have to worry about storing it like I do these other 2 things. I'm gonna have to find out what to do with these now. Thanks for watching this. If you like review videos like this, give me a thumbs up or share it with one of your lab buddies that may be interested in getting a little backup steamer, or baby's first lab. If you're starting up your new ortho lab, maybe get this as your first steamer and then work your way up to the $1,000 one professional steamer that will probably outlast this one. Go ahead and subscribe. I do live videos where I construct appliances live. The chickens are going crazy. Shut up. I go live and you can hear the chickens in the background when I go live, and I make both analog and digital ortholab appliances. So be sure and subscribe and you'll get a notification. I try to do a weekly live stream, and then I do these product reviews on the side. So I hope this helps. One last thing. Did you figure out what the flashlight was for? So you see this little bracket here. Let me turn this on, see how it works. I thought this was cord management, but it was too little, or it's too big for cord management. I thought maybe it's the plug management. It wasn't. Then I realized it's for this flashlight. So if your lab's really dark, you got a laser sight for your gun. And is it on? It's kind of a weak little light, but hey, like I said, a laser sight for your, but that's what that was for. It's got a little clip for a flashlight. So, okay. I'll catch you on the next one. And until then, happy bending.